So I've got a couple of clips I want to show you from Peru, where they've all met. They've all the politicians from the world have all flown into one really nice place in the world using 40, 50 private jets, and then they will negotiate why you can't drive your car to work. Yeah, that's sort of how it works. Anyway, Jolly was talking about how, everyone's going to be asking Canada. Oh, Canada's going to be the bigwig at this COP29. They're all going to be queuing up and asking Canada, how do you deal with the US? Oh, how have you done it in the past? So just listen to Jolly talking about this, and then let's listen to Trudeau and look at a few comments around this matter. So I'm going to use Brian Lilly's tweet for this, or X, or whatever you want to call it, because he says a few things on his tweet that, that are reasonably truthful, allegedly, maybe. Brian Lilly, does anyone actually believe that other countries are asking the ham-ass loving foreign minister, who is part of a government that has been campaigning against Trump for over a year, for advice on how to deal with the incoming Trump administration? Just have a listen what she has to say on this.
If there's a country in the world that understands the US, it's Canada. And so that's why there's so many delegations, so many countries that are coming to see us, to ask us about the new administration, to ask us about how we and they can adapt. And so I think that Canada's influence is actually increasing because of the impacts that the world is now facing with the new administration. So we will continue to engage, and we will continue, of course, to engage with the US, but we will increase also our engagements across the world based on that. And last point also is, let's all remember, Canada will be hosting the G7 next year. And so we also have an important role to play as the new administration is coming, but also the world is adapting to its, presence.
The world is adapting to, the world is the world will adapt, but Canada will not adapt, because Canada is still one of the, it doesn't have the wokest government that has got to go down to the UK, but maybe one of the wokest Western governments in the whole world, because it would have been UK, USA, Canada. Now it's UK, Canada. So we'll swiftly move along to an X posted by Concerned Canadian. Here's the reality. Not one country, in my opinion, asked the Trudeau government for advice. This was pure political theatrics and self-serving fabrication. Who else agrees? What do you think? Do you think people actually asked Canada for advice?
Dylan Robertson, the Canadian Press. Question for the three of you at the podium. I was wondering about countries turning to Canada for advice on how to navigate a second Trump presidency. Who's asking us?
I think they're generalized conversations. People know that Canada has had a certain amount of experience dealing with various American administrations, and specifically our government navigated in a win-win way through the first Trump presidency.
So who?
People are sharing notes, asking for advice, and we're happy to talk about our approach that is grounded in demonstrating that middle classes in both of our countries can do well when we work together.
Nobody. He didn't mention any country that's asked Canada for advice on the USA. Not one. If you're a big country and you're a leader of a country like Canada, and people are coming to you and asking you for advice, would 100% mention that country, unless nobody asked you, because you're not going to mention a country and say, hey, so-and-so country came to me, UK came to me and asked me for advice on how to deal with the new US leadership. And then they're just going to turn around and say, No, we didn't. So yeah, I don't think. What do you think? Leave us a comment. What do you think? Do you think anybody is actually asking, like Jolly said, actually asking the Canadian government for any advice on anything? Do you? No.